this is Gilgamesh. I want to talk about this documentary that I saw. It won Best Documentary at the Oscars this last Sunday, and there's a reason. It is an amazing documentary. It's not getting a whole lot. It's in American, U.S. theaters. People should go see this. It'll anger you. I mean, I was getting pissed as this went on because it follows two men. One is a Palestinian journalist, and the other is an Israeli. And they wanted to show what was going on in the West Bank. And throughout this documentary, the Israeli gets confronted by being the fact that he is Israeli. They're trying to blame him. But he's going, I'm here to show people what's going on. And it's true. He had, this is the Palestinian, Batal, and this is Abraham. He's the Israeli. He does not like what his government's doing. And I'm going to clear something up. Not everybody in Israel supports the government or even supports what's going on in the West Bank or in Gaza. The Hasidic Jews in Israel have come out in support of the Palestinians, and they get attacked by the IDF. In this documentary, and this goes back years, this is essentially they're recording the IDF being told by the courts to the police, essentially to tear down these people, the Palestinians' homes. And they are. They come in and they start tearing down their homes. It's honestly, it'll piss you off. I mean, you're as if you're holding the camera, watching, recording everything going on, and there is violence in this movie. Batal's father, he talks about how when he was a kid, his parents were activists, and his father got arrested multiple times, and in this, he does get arrested again. And the fact is, they show parts of it in the documentary. They show parts of like an interview where Yuri, I think that's his name, Ural, he's actually confronting a member of the Israeli government and saying, no, that's not true. This is what's really going on. They don't want to hear it from him. And Batal, he's showing footage, and that's the whole point. They want to get the attention of this, and they do show that back when Tony Blair visited the West Bank, they stopped, but their courts are allowing them to seize the land and tear down these homes. And as a doctor, I got really pissed off, and I said this while watching it. Look, the Nazis are, moving forward, and so what they do is they tear down the home. There's a school, an elementary school, where these kids are going, and essentially they want to, that becomes part of the focal of the story. These kids are, they want, their parents are trying to get them an education while they protest, and one mother. We hear the gunshot go off. We don't see her son get hit, but we know he got hit because they blur it out. And she goes in pretty graphic detail, explains when her son got shot, and you feel her pain, and it's heartbreaking. She watched her son get shot, and he's paralyzed. And they don't care. They took these people's cars. They can't travel. They can't go out of the West Bank. Batal is literally trapped. Bilal and his family are literally trapped in the West Bank. They have to live in caves. I mean, they're tearing down their homes, we need this for tank operations. And you see this woman with blue eyes. I actually said in the theater, I said, go back to Europe. I said, I hate these fucking people. I do. The Israelis can fuck off. Like I said, Abraham is one of those who's trying to bring attention to this stuff, and the fact that the world knows this is going on is doing nothing about it. And they go all the way back to 1967 when this all started. And if China, who had a veto back then, had vetoed Israel's creation, none of this would be happening. But yeah, and we see the horror on the children. I mean, honestly, we're watching his family, Bilal's family, his father, his mother, and I think these are his, because he has no kids. And he's asked a question during the his friend, who I think they are friends at this point, you've all asked him, do you want to have a family? He goes, no, not with the way things are. And he goes, if we leave this land, we're screwed. We're never going to be able to come back. So they have to literally live on the ground where their homes have been destroyed. And then, like I said, you'll get angry as you're watching this, and you feel bad for the Palestinians. This really shows how evil how evil the Israeli government and their courts are. And even when they go to court, they get no help. You know, they claim that they are illegally built these homes. No, these homes have been there for a long time. They built these homes. And you see it as they're taking the land, they're claiming this has to be for military. They're building settlements in it, and they're saying, and they even say, you won't let us get permits to be able to build these whales and stuff, and so they fill it up with concrete, literally cut off their means of water, and that's a human right, and they just don't care. The Israelis are fucking, the government is evil. The people, like I said, you're all. I think it's Yuval. I think Yuval Abraham. He's one of the few that actually he's doing this to bring attention to it, And it's in Arabic, it's in Hebrew and English, but it gives you an insight into this man Bilal and his family and how he, you see what all this is doing, and the fact that he gets threatened with getting arrested, he has to hide, and the horrors of living in the West Bank and seeing these people having their homes literally destroyed for what? Nothing. And claiming, it's illegal that you're building in here and everything. And I was mad. I was pissed off. I didn't see quite the ending because I had to go to the bathroom, but the end of it was them in a car talking. And that's how I think this documentary ends. These two filmmakers who are the center, and it's really not about them. It's about what Israel is doing, and that they want to make it very sure. And he has to go home. He even says, I have to go home to see my mother. He gets to go and drive everywhere he wants to go as an Israeli. But and so I get why the Palestinians kind of look down on him, because his people are doing this to them. He doesn't agree with them. And you see it in the documentary. There's probably more footage than they put in this documentary in theaters. It's not that long. It's like an hour and 35 minutes long. It is an amazing documentary. And I had heard about this, but it's not marketed. I'm trying to promote this film, this documentary, because there's a reason it won Best Documentary. It is the damn brilliant. It'll anger you if you really care about humanity and you're tired of seeing people being, treated like get walked over and have their shit taken from them. This documentary will anger you. It shows it doesn't hide anything. It shows you're basically there to observe and you could do nothing to help these people. So everybody in theater, it's like, yeah, you're angry. I got really angry. I started going, fucking Nazis. I said, go back to Europe. And this movie really got under my skin. It was just hard to watch. You see horrors that you shouldn't have to see, but really I highly recommend this movie. I can't recommend any more. These two men are charismatic. Bilal is like, you actually like these two. Yes, you like Yuval Abraham. He's got this. They both got this personality. They want the truth to come out. They seem to become friends in this, and that's probably a big reason that Abraham isn't thrown out by the other Palestinians, because he's there to show the truth and how people aren't really paying attention. And they even talk about that. Look, we're not getting much traction on this story, and but this documentary is, look at it. I mean, it's already probably made more money than it cost to make this thing, and give these guys all the credit in the world. There were 4 men that worked on this, 4 directors, right here. Abraham, Bissell, Ada, Raquel, Zor, I think, and then this is Bilal. He's sort of like, we're with him and his family throughout this whole thing, and we get to know his family. He's got a great family. These Palestinians are great people. They're all Syrians, by the way. And it just shows what the Israeli project of destroying the West Bank, and they put up these homes and they tear down what they have, and they just come with bulldozers. And you're watching this and I got pissed. I legitimately got pissed off because it was not fair. You're seeing kids basically lose their school. They tear down their elementary school. They threaten with violence. They actually, they shoot a Palestinian simply trying to get back something the Israelis are trying to steal from them. They're stealing their tools. He gets shot over tools. And then, what is it, a generator. Yeah, over a generator. This young guy gets shot and he's paralyzed, and it's horrifying because he just hates everything, and he has no hope, and he basically lashes out. And you understand his anger. He can't move from the way he can't move anymore. His mother, they're living basically in a cave because they lost their home. And they can't leave because if they do, they lose their home. Please go watch this fucking documentary. If you give a shit about humanity, this movie will make you go, wow. You'll understand the Palestinians more. You don't have to listen to people talk about it. Just watch this documentary. Brings you in with the Palestinians, and you get to see how they live and what they have to endure. It really will open your eyes to how, if you knew nothing else, this is the most eye-opening documentary ever made about what's going on in the West Bank that most people don't know. And these two men right here, there's four of them, but these two are the ones that wanted to bring more attention to this by getting this documentary made, and I recommend it. It is the best documentary of the year. And I'm glad it won because it really should, and it is in Arabic, and it's easy to understand. It's not hard to understand because it's when you listen to their music, listen to them talk, it becomes like second nature. You forget you're even hearing a foreign language, and the Hebrew sounds such like crap coming out of these Zionists. I mean, goddamn. And by the way, he even says, I speak fluent Arabic, and he asked why. He goes, he took a course so he could be able to, when he decided to become a journalist, he could do this by talking to Palestinians and get information from them. And I get why he did it, because he wanted to be able to go in and talk to the Palestinians without having to worry about the military attacking the police and all that. It's just messed up. So if you get a chance, if you want to understand what's going on, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter, I don't care if you're a Democrat, conservative, whatever, please see this documentary. It is not being promoted for all. I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the greatest documentaries about something that everybody should just watch. This if you want to understand. Be frustrated with watching people have their homes taken from them for no reason. For no reason. Please watch this documentary. It is the title really fits it. No other land. They have nowhere to go. Their land is being seized, and if they leave, they can never come back. And that's what the whole thing with Gaza. If you want to understand what's going on, why these Europeans should be sent back, should be kicked out and get rid of Israel, because there's a lot of there are Israelis who don't support the government who would be willing, and they said this when they won the Oscar for this documentary. They said we too. We're two different. We're Palestinian. We're Israeli. We did this together to bring attention to this, to show that yes, we want to live in peace together. We can live together. We can work together to strive for something. They both believe in this too. The Palestinians having their own land. Hell, I'd say get rid of Israel and make it one. Put Palestine back the way it was and let them all live together if they want to live together. Otherwise, go back to Europe. But yeah, I want to cover this really quick. It is probably one of the greatest documentaries to show you the horrors of an occupation that's been going on, how these people that have nothing to do with what's going on in Gaza are being attacked and having their homes destroyed, for land. That doesn't even belong to these Zionists. I don't care. It's nothing biblical about it. It's just a bunch of land thieves. Yeah. So I will probably watch this again because it is such a... I'm going to probably go see it again because it's so good. It's one you really do need to see. I'm not joking. Please go watch this movie. Go watch this documentary. It's worth seeing. It'll really give you an insight into what's going on and why the Palestinians deserve to have a place they call home. Why they shouldn't be chased off their land, have it stolen from them. It'll make you understand every evil act that white people, and these are white people, have done to other people when they come on their plate where they live and they steal their land. If you want to know what it looks like when you have land thieves steal people's stuff, just watch this documentary. Yes, it's a great documentary. This is Gilgamesh. I'll talk to you later. Bye.